Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this Sabbath morning with a message. And the title of this message is Can one get their house in order? Can one get their house in order? This hits the spot. The title of this message on this morning of the Sabbath, Can one get their house in order? It's pretty much a question, being so many has individuals, many people might not understand what the question is relaying to, and it is relating to. It is talking about the house of your spirit. It's that house that many didn't speak of, or it wasn't taught the way that it could have been, or it should have been. And I'm speaking of the spirit that makes it a house within. Okay. When you put up this title, many people would think one is speaking of the house of the natural, the house that housed the flesh. But I speak of the house that housed the spirit. Okay. Can one get their house in order? That's a question to you. Like I say, being so, people can get the things of the natural so in order and have not the things of the spirit in any type of order, because it's the way people are taught to believe, and to not just believe. I thought I had this, but to think and feel. Believe it or not, people are taught and brought up to think and feel in a way that still grips them today, because they think that this is the way, not understanding many things. A lot of people have not been taught, nor ministered to, or preached to, or witnessed to, that there's two beings. There's the flesh and there's the spirit. The question that I bring forth in the title is, can they get their house in order? And I was doing a little study and I found out a lot of good information for my spirit. And I'm grateful, because it taught me some things at a quicken that I had no idea of. And I'm grateful to the Most High Yah for that. And even when I had to go over Hezekiah, him being told to get his house in order, and I was so confused because of his action afterward. I didn't see him get the house in order, in which I'm thinking in order, which be the house of Yah. But I saw him doing other things. So with me, I'm like, where is this going? Where am I heading? But I felt the need to bring forth a Sabbath day message regarding, can they get their house in order. And we're going to find out this morning, is it a way that we as individuals can get our house in order? First and foremost, we have to understand what is this house that we must get in order, okay? And is there any way that we can get the house from the inner man in order like we get the house from the outer man in order? Does that make sense? I brought that up because I don't know where it come from. Far distance. Can we get the inner man house in order like we take out so much energy and time in our whole living and getting our outer man house in order? Father, where are we going with this? Because this is taking me all the way on the edge because I wasn't planning on talking like that. But it's going to lead somewhere. But I guarantee you, when it leads you somewhere, it's going to lead me right beside you. Because I'm really trying to feel this thing in where the Spirit really are willing to lead us this Sabbath morning. Okay? So we know that we have a house on the outside that we make sure is together. Can we get the house that's on the inside together like we put that energy, that strength, that time into getting that house on the outside together? The question is put forth to you. Me too. Being so, Sister Deborah is really geared to the things of the Spirit. When I'm geared to the way of the Spirit, it's hard for me to give the way of the flesh any type of leeway. I know it might sound crazy, but when you are walking in the Spirit, it's hard to give the way of the flesh leeway. It really is. It's real hard. But I know with this message, the Father is going to help me along with this, because I've already heard myself this morning speaking already at the start of this video, things that I wasn't prepared to speak or to say, or I wasn't ready to say. That shows you that there is something greater that is within me that overrides anything that I would want to say in the order of just me coming before the people in the flesh and going back to the glory and praise and honor to the Most High Yah. So I did not post me going live, and I just knew last night that I would go live. I didn't know what would be my topic, but here I am. The topic is, can they get their house in order? So now we got to go to the twos, y'all. We got to try to find out what house is it saying, can we? We know we can get the natural house in order because that's what we believe it or not, we take a lot of energy and a lot of ourselves and everything to get the house in order in the natural. Do we put that type of energy in the spirit realm of who we are to get that house in order with the Most High Yah? Do we? Do we put that much energy and put that much into getting the house in order in the spirit as we do in the natural? The house we have, the house we live in, the house we reside. There go the twos. That's a form of the twos. And the question is for you to just question yourself about getting the house in order and understand the spiritual house is what Sister Deborah is going to lean more so to, because that's the house I know about. Do I know about the natural house? Yes, a whole lot. But because I tend to lean more so to the spirit realm than the flesh realm, or what you call the natural realm, I'm going to lean forward again, as always, to the spiritual realm, because I believe all the ways of the natural we have learned, whether it's been good, bad, evil, hot, cold, dark, light, we have learned all the things that one needs to know in the natural. But as I stand aside, I realize that we have learned nothing in the spirit. You see, not knowing that which one of those hang on eternal. This is a question to the pastors, the bishops, the priests, the apostles, all these so-called administrative positions for the house of Yah. What is going on where we have mastered the ways of the natural of the flesh, but people know not the way of the spirit? Matter of fact, they don't know that if I gave them two directions, which direction would they go in, searching, looking, and trying to find home? They will go in the natural to find their natural brick wooden home. You see? They wouldn't find their way home in the spirit. They wouldn't even go to the right where the spiritual home is at and search for the spiritual rock. Why? It's because not only were we born into a world of chaos and sin and hate, we're born into a world that is prefer teaching the lie than the truth. And we find ourselves right there, living, walking, talking, and breathing in the lie. And we get away from what is truth. Just imagine being born and you take the breath, and guess what you have now? You have a flesh and you have a spirit. And you're on this natural earth serving 100 times 100 your flesh. Not even focusing on the fact that you have another entity that you give no leeway to. You give no focus. You give no thought. And it, just me speaking that, saying that like that, I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going. Because that wasn't my topic. Where I'm heading is not my topic. But I'm going somewhere with this. So just imagine, just take out the time to give yourself a thought about how, okay, if we have come into the world and we have lived, it was also up to us to be able to speak on the two entities as if one dies and one live eternal. Right today, people serve that which died, that goes back to the earth. That house that individual lives in, even when they die, they can't take it with them. You get what I'm saying? But that's the only house that one knows to prepare, to get ready, to make ready. That's the only house that in their hearts they desire to make sure everything is together. But guess what? Not only do that individual in the flesh shall pass away. That house shall pass away. But guess what? The one on the right hand side, which is you, your spirit, it lives eternal in an eternal place. But the way that we come into this world, even to this year, 2026, they have taught so much in the schools, in the elementaries, in the high schools, in the college, everywhere. Taught you only about the house of your flesh where you reside, and did not teach you that there was another house, which is your spirit. That house is eternal. So if you had a chance to stand before the Most High Yah, which house would you be standing before him in? Deborah, you're going to get yourself in trouble, girl. You're going to get yourself in trouble. If you were given the chance by the Father to stand before him, tell me, what house would you be standing before him in? It's the house of the Spirit. It wouldn't be your natural house, because your natural house can't stand before glory, before the Father himself. It would be the Father in the Spirit, and you in your spirit, that house. So the title asks the question, what house can you yourself, nobody else, nobody on your left nor on your right, what house can you get ready? Can you prepare for? The only one that they have ever taught, y'all, is the house built with bricks, the house where your flesh resides. And I think it's really too late, to be honest, but I'm going to teach it anyway, because I believe it's never too late as far as the spirit, because it also has a house eternal. So I'm going to speak on that level of, can they really understand the house in which they should be preparing? What house is that? Is it the house of the flesh, or is it the house of the Spirit? And if you had to stand before glory, which is my Father, the throne of the Most High Yah, which house would you be standing representing yourself? It would be the house of your spirit. It wouldn't be your natural house. So you see how even it had to take somebody to be able to deceive from the level of education, from the level of books, to deceive the whole world. It could not have been done. So do you see the mini-me's of Satan? How intelligent they were on the earth, and still is. I'm going to give them that. Where they can do all these things that they could do. And let me get it right now. Let me get it right. But they couldn't do it without Yah giving them that type of intelligence to do it. Because while they thinking it's them doing it and they're intelligent, they don't understand. You only doing what he have you to do, because he's the only one that owns the will. See, people don't understand. If it's his will, you can't control it. Everything that's going on in the world, you guys, guess what? It's going according to who will? Not yours, not theirs, but the will of the Father. It's everything still going according. I don't care how bad it look. I don't care how even wicked it is. It's still lining up with the what? The will of who? The Father. What is the will for? The earth. The whole earth, heavens and earth. The will is wrote out and wrote in for the whole heavens and earth from what level? Beginning to the end. Who will is it? The Father of the throne, the creator, the only master. That's why Yeshua said, don't y'all call me no master. There's no master but the Father himself. You see? So here we have the question put before us. Can we get the house in order? Sister Deborah had to go that route to get you to understand what house I'm talking about. But I'm going to show you how the house in the natural cannot compare to the house in the spirit. And how the house in the spirit, you don't have to worry to the point where you worry to keep the house of the natural in order. You know how you have to make sure the lights on, no gas leak, your gas, your water. You have to make sure all kind of things is going on in the house, and it's the electric, the roof, the plumbing. You got to make sure it's comfortable for you. It takes a lot of work and energy. You got to cut your grass. You got so many things to do with the house of the natural, but it's only temporary. Just imagine how we've been in this world for 7,000-8,000 years, and here we are, never focus on the house of the spirit at all. But you know what that brings me into? How awesome, great, perfect, excellent, wonderful, great Yah was and is. To where he gave you this peace that passes all understanding for the house of the spirit. That many, even to today, have no idea the house in order for the spirit does not take what it takes to keep the house in order for the flesh. But no one brought it forth to the people so they'll understand there's two houses in one. There's a house for the flesh and there's a house for the spirit. It takes a whole lot to maintain the house of the flesh. But to maintain the house of the spirit, can one get their house of the spirit in order? In this day and time, let me help you with a little something. 99.9 don't know they got a house of the spirit. They really don't, y'all. And I know many of you all think because you got millions and millions and millions of people in churches. You got a church on every corner. You got these churches. You got these all different denominations. You got all this here. But do you know they're not telling people to get their house in order in the spirit? They would tell you in a church where you got a priest, where you got an apostle, where you got a prophet, a prophetess, a Maureen, a bishop, a pastor. You know what they would tell you? Or seer. They would tell you more so about the house of your natural before they tell you about the house of the spirit. Well, Deborah, why would you say they would do that? First, they start off telling you about their house of God. See what I'm saying? They're, they would tell you how to take care of the house of God before they let you or give you any type of idea of knowing or understanding you have a house that is spirit. Take care of it. They're not going to tell you that because they want the focus on a brick building where they built or what they have, where they come to worship and where they come to minister, where they come when they're the master, they're the head, they're the leader. And they call it the house of God. You see? When the Hebrew Israelite come to their awakening, the first thing they should awaken to the things of the spirit, first and foremost. When he say, seek ye the kingdom, this is what he means. Your spirit seeks my spirit. And if you do it that way, I'm there. I pull up. I pull up on you. But see, people didn't understand that. And they still today. And don't think he don't know that will has already orchestrated the beginning to the end, the way he knew it would go. Just like Adam and Eve, before he put Adam and Eve down there, guess what? He already knew he was going to put a tree there for them because he knew that that's was their eternal destiny, was that tree there. Even before he put them down there, he was going to build that tree of good and evil. He already knew that, the knowledge of good and evil. He knew that. So when we thinking we pulling the wool over him, his eyes, you just making a fool over your own natural eyes and your spirit. Because if anybody had any type of real sense, you'll really see, and I mean not the sense of the natural, but spiritual sense, you'll really see that the power of that right hand, which we forsaken in the beginning, is the power of that will. It wrote it in and wrote it out to the point when Yeshua was tempted by Satan, he couldn't say nothing but pull out the best card he had. It is written. It is written. That was his best card because it was. To the point where Satan began to tell him if he would just fall down, come down off and fall down, and that the angels would catch him, for it is written. Even he knew. But you know what he was trying to figure out? 99.20 trillion have no idea the temptation of Satan toward the Son of Man was to see, was the Son of Yah with you? Pull up. So you see, the Son of Man could not. He could not. That's why he said, it is written that thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy Yah. He knew exactly what he was saying. He knew it. And this is why Satan was messing with his mind. Because he was trying to tempt him to see was the Son of Yah in him. That's why he tempted him with power. I'll give you this. I'll let you have this. If you fall down, the power would stop you. He was trying to find out, was I heading toward him for the flesh, or was I'm really seeking to see if the Son of Yah is in the Son of Man? So that's really was his. He was given that leeway to tempt the Son of Man, to show us that we too shall go up many mountains and be tempted. But if we stick with what Yeshua said, it is written that we don't live on bread alone. Because the bread alone is for the flesh. But we live on the word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah. This is why the book can't be the word. Because Yeshua wasn't one that went by this book. He was speaking of the word of Yah. Yah himself is what we live by. That's the only thing gonna bring you off of any mountain. If you think for 1 minute you can be on a high mountain of suicide, you can be on a high mountain of someone after to murder you, you can be on a high mountain of cancer, all them high mountains, only way you gonna bring your butt down is the true word, which is Yah. If you think you can take this book and come down off that mountain of suicide, if you think you can take this book and come down off that mountain of cancer, if you think you can take this book and come down off the mountain for somebody about to murder you, yeah, you about right. Only way, every word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah, that come with a heavy line of faith. Because that word will cut in and it will cut out of you at the same time and give you victory. So the topic again is the house. Can we get our house in order? But Deborah, you're talking to people who thinks that the house is their house of bricks. They don't know that there's another house. And that house is where the Ruach reside. In that vessel is a house where your spirit abide in his spirit and y'all become one in that house. Can you get that house in order? Can you? We're going to dive deep into that. That's why people are in full control of the things of the flesh and still not in control because someone controlling them. Even the very house one has is not even their house. But in their mental state of mind or their consciousness, oh, I paid for it, it's mine, nobody can take it, nobody. No. They already done took it. You're just too ignorant to know it. It's just what was created, not so much as created, it's what they have done throughout time that no one thought to dive deep. And the reason why I can say that is I'm sitting here trying to bring this message regarding the house. Can you get your house in order? And I'm sitting here just thinking how well people get the house of the natural in order, but the house of the spirit. And then as I'm speaking I'm talking and it's dawning on my spirit, but they don't even know that they got a house. And those that know it don't respect the house that they got. So how do you expect them to get something in order when they don't look at the spiritual house like they look at the natural house? How do you expect them to know the truth of the whole matter about one house versus another? Because this also identify people. Because he says, seek ye the kingdom first. And the kingdom is connected to that house. That the Jesuits and the Roman Catholic rebuilt books, even from elementary to preschool to everywhere, where that should have been in every book. But because they come to serve Satan and to be the mini me of Satan so that he can deceive the whole world, they started in books. You see? They started where they know they can manipulate the world. Just put it in books, force them to read it and study it and come to understand that's the only way they can live on earth. It's through the books in which the Jesuits and the Roman Catholic has placed out here. And this is what got so, you see all these different religions, they built those. And y'all had no idea. From the Freemasons, from the Jehovah's Witness, from 7 Days Event, from the Baptists, from the I said this Jehovah's Witness, from Christian. They built them all. They built all those books. So if they built all the books, what else did they do? They created all the religions. So how can they find their way home? They can't. They can't find their way home. It's because home to them is a brick wall. Home to people is the place that they over their roof, the roof over their head. Home to people is what they can see according for them to believe. That's why I say somewhere, I can't pinpoint where it's going to take place, but real soon, somewhere he has to take that away. Because it's impossible. Oh, Deborah, you're going to get in trouble. Oh, you're going to get in trouble. It is impossible for the power to reveal itself without doing the work. It got to, this power has to reveal itself. And it's going to. That's what he did. He saved the best for last. The best for last to me as a prophetess in the wilderness is his power. I can't say nothing. The best for last to me is that power. That's all that's left. That's all that I see that's left. And according to see that power, it has to take away everything else that you once thought was your authority. You once thought was your power, your strength. So when we go back into, can they get their house in order? They wouldn't even know about getting their house in order. And I kind of feel sad though, because I'm, as the Spirit dealing with me, as I'm speaking to you, I'm thinking about, but Father, getting their spiritual house in order is like unto you saying, seek ye the kingdom. It matches. Yes, it does, Deborah. And I'm like saying, but Father, I've been in a lot of churches. You know, I've joined many churches, and I never heard no one preach it. Seek ye the kingdom first. Why? You're seeking the place of eternal home. That house. You heard Yeshua say, I go to prepare a place for you, and there I will receive you. There are many mansions. Do y'all not understand that? So when you detach that to what's on the earth, is that not identical? We got mansions and houses to places to stay. I prepare a place for you. I prepare a place for you, or you prepare a place for yourself. No one is teaching it, and no one have, and no one will teach the balance. And I realized, just sitting here talking about the house in order of the Spirit, how powerful that really is, because it's connected to seeking ye the kingdom first. And the kingdom will prepare the house for you. After you have seek ye the kingdom first. You have put Yah first, and he have put you first in the house. The spiritual house. Why? Because in that spiritual house is your spirit and his spirit, and y'all reside together as one. And Yeshua is up in there too. You see? And this also sets the pace of why people can't come into any type of oneness in understanding. It's because if you know the spiritual house over here and everybody is caught up in the natural house over here, and you putting head the spiritual house beyond the natural house, then really who's serving who? Because just listening to myself, even teaching and speaking here this morning, the house that you must get in order, or the house that can one get in order, look who dressed the house up. Make sure everything is A+ in that house. And in that house, you also receive righteous belief, faith, fear. You believe, you have hope. That's in that spiritual house. See how you have spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge, and you have who in there? The Ruach HaKodesh, which is all understanding. That's the spiritual house, you guys. You never have to pay a bill in the spiritual house like you would pay in the natural. You'll never, once you in that spiritual house, you'll never be foreclosed on. You will never be what they say when you when they kick you out. Dang, what's that word? You'll never be kicked out of it. Once Yah is in you and you in him, y'all one in that house. You see the two difference in the house. But he asks you to seek ye the kingdom first, so I can prepare that house for you, and there I will meet your spirit and your spirit meet mine, and we'll be one in this house. Never will you be evicted. That's what that's it. Never will you be foreclosed on. So when you think of him, it's when you think of it being said, seek ye the kingdom first, then you got to really look at that a different way. You got to really look at it. Wait a minute, seeking the first, it comes with a lot of things, but it's the things that are eternal versus the things that are temporary. If I had a house and I pass away, I can't take that house with me. But everything I have in the spirit is going with me on the other side. It's going with me to glory. That's why he say your treasures are in the kingdom. Don't build up your treasures on the earth, but those things which are in the kingdom. Why? Because it's in that spiritual house. You're taking them, they're going with you. And the house temporary, guess what? It goes to another. And after that one, another. And after that one, another. After a while, it goes to the ground. Like the flesh, to the grave. So the question again, can they get their house in order? And it's a sad thing, because no one understands that the order of this house is the order of the Father. All order is in him. He said, vengeance is mine. See what's in this house? He gives you a comforter in that house. You be revealed things in that house. You got a teacher of all things in that house. But do you think that the flesh could care less about that house? No, they don't. They could care less about the house itself, because the house that they focus on is the house of the natural, the house of the flesh. And that is what they lean to. That is what they more care for, to where they forsaken the house of the Spirit. Now I'm going to go into First Corinthians. In First Corinthians chapter 19 and verse 20. In First Corinthians chapter 19 and verse, no. First Corinthians chapter 6. In First Corinthians chapter 6, in First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19 and 20. And it reads, "What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is the Holy Spirit, which is in you?" See, it's in you, "which ye have of Yah, and ye are not your own." You see, it's even telling you how you are even not your own. Because why? Because you have Yah, which ye have Yah. No. Let me go back. Verse 19. "What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of Yah?" The Holy Spirit is the Father, y'all. Now watch this here. "And ye are not your own." Verse 20. "For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify Yah in your body and in your spirit, which are Yah." Yah resides in your spirit. That's a house. He housed himself in your spirit, in you. In this same spirit, he says, "Seek ye the kingdom first." You think he's telling your flesh? No. He's telling you the spiritual route to him is that you seek ye the kingdom first, and all shall be added unto thee. Why? Because the kingdom, you put the kingdom first, then you put in that house where Yah abide in you first and foremost. And everything in your life would have changed and will change. But when people seek the natural house and look at it, live and die as all of what it is, and forsake the other house where Yah abide in and you abide in him, and that is the spiritual house where he resides. Verse 20 says, "For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify in your body and in your spirit, which are Yah's." That's the spiritual house that 99.9 could care less. That's the spiritual house that require you to seek ye the kingdom. Always focusing on the spiritual things. A lot of times people don't care too much. And I'm going to be honest. If you had to have a million, you probably have one that cares about the kingdom, the house that Yah abide in them. Because a lot of people don't know that there's two sides to them. There's a side that died, and there's a side that's eternal. They don't focus on the eternal one. They focus more so on the one that died. Just like the house. They focus more so on the house that housed the flesh. They could care less about the house that housed the Spirit of Yah in them. They could care less about that. And they feel that It ain't nothing wrong with me decking the house, the natural house, and making sure everything's good with it, and did. And they'll turn on this here side and think that they in the presence of Yah and don't have nothing connected to the spiritual house of Yah. So what they do, they make it up themselves, because that's the power of the mind, of the flesh. It tells you things that's not true. That's why it's your worst enemy more so than it's anybody else's worst enemy, because it actually lied to people that it's important that you take care of the flesh side and forsaken the spiritual side. Had they put that in books, y'all, I think that should have been in preschool. I'm serious. First and foremost, I don't think the book should have taught us. It should have been our parents, but our parents didn't have anything to go on, you see? So they needed what they call books to tell them A to B to B to C. And the Jesuits and the Roman Catholics saw that that's one way they could rule the world. See, a lot of y'all didn't know Satan come to deceive the world. According for him to deceive the world, he had to have enemies coming up with ways to deceive the world. And that's where you see the Jesuits and the Roman Catholic them come in, and they took, even, I believe that even during the time of Paul, there were Christians, but from when I did a study on they died so harsh. And I think that they died out, the Christian that was under Paul. And I think the Roman Catholics started this new Christian that is the shield to hide the Roman Catholics and the Jews. I think this here Christian is built up to do just that. So when y'all wondering why all these Christian churches, all of them support Israel, because you all didn't know Israel and Roman Catholic, all of them are in it together. And the Christian today, that's why they support Israel, because they are a part of the new age Christianity. You see, they ain't the one that Paul made a difference in. They were faithful and they died. Y'all should study on how these people died. You think Paul and Peter and them died harsh? The way they tormented these Christians back in Paul's time, oh my God. But those are not the same Christians that stand today. Their identity of Christians has been stolen. Okay? They've been stolen by the Roman Catholic and the Jesuits. Jesuits is still the fake ooze over there. And they have gone a mighty long ways. And there's no turning back. Only one going to deal with them is that power. Usually that power is what's going to deal with them. But they created the books, y'all. They created education. That's why they were able to give you the great bang. They can do whatever they want to do, okay? And they doing it. They are the many knees of Satan, okay? They're the ones that's the synagogue. Roman Catholic is one of the big dogs in Satan's synagogue as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. And this is what Christians are today. When I look at the Christians and I think about all these Baptists, and all these melanated people who pastors and like T.D. Jakes and Cliff O'Dollars, all of them, I don't think that they are deceived at all. I think they went in it knowing, okay? And it was just too good for them to turn and go in the right direction. And they remain to the point of death. And then I don't think they could really get out like they would want to. Because this other man that passed away, Volker, whatever his name, Volker, I can't get his name. His death didn't even make any sense. And look how he come and go and nobody questioned anything. So it's a lot of things going on that the power that bees that is getting away with a lot of things. And in my spirit, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, you would think that Sister Deborah would say everything makes sense. I get it. But it's a lot of things that simply does not make any sense to me, because it's just seemed like if they've been getting away with stuff for thousands of years, how far down shall they get away with it? To the end? It's real. It can get real confusing. But then when you understand that, Father, the power of whatever have to take place is in the hands of the Father, and that's what's going to have to throw down. So when you get here in First Corinthians, he's letting you know that what know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, okay, which ye have of Yah, and ye are not your own, okay. Once that Holy Spirit claims your spirit, y'all are one in that. It's nothing you can do. It's nothing you can do to come out of that, baby. Y'all are one. Y'all are a oneness to the end, and to the very end, even to the kingdom, or you all are one. But that's the house. The question was for the title: Can they get their house in order? I believe only Yah has the order to get in order. When he comes in us, that's the order itself. It's nothing we can get in order as far as the spirit, okay? Outside of seeking ye the kingdom continually, letting your inner man have the connection with Yah for all of your choices and your ideas, even on the outside of you. Your spirit man's supposed to be making those choices. Did y'all know that? But what we do is we got so much power in our flesh. We got so much authority in our flesh. And I'm speaking of the flesh mind and the flesh heart. We got so much in our flesh to where we think the thoughts of our flesh is the number one. The heart of our flesh is the number one. And that is the part that makes it bad for us, because we're going into that guideline of the house of the flesh. And we're not focusing on anything that is surrounding the house of the spirit. So let me go to Romans chapter 12. In Romans chapter 12, here in Romans chapter 12 and verse 1 through 4. Romans chapter 12 and verse 1 through 4. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of Yah, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yah, which is your reasonable servant. And he's telling you because the Ruach reside in your spirit. Now you are holy. So now you present yourself. And it says here, a sacrifice holy, acceptable unto Yah, which is your reasonable servant. That's spiritual, y'all. This is what I said is really, even though it don't seem like it, but this is a very powerful message, because it's actually showing you the power of the flesh has ruled the earth in a way that does not represent the power of the spirit. People don't focus on the house of the spirit versus the house of the flesh. You see, the house of the flesh gets 99.9. The house of the spirit get the 1%. You see? And that's no faith. That's reality. And it takes you right back to what he mean about the narrow gate. It takes you right back to the small remnant. You see? It takes you back to the reality of why he chose a small remnant, why he chose 12 for Yeshua, why he says the gate that leads to narrow is very few, and very few shall find it. This is the reason why, because we have ignored the house of the spirit, and we think it's all about the house of the flesh, and we ain't gonna ever see it any different. Why? Because it's over. You see, it going back to where it's over. But you know what? You know why it can be over? Because Yah has already claimed what's his. You see, those that are house of the spirit, let me tell you, once he created his house in you and you and him, that's it. It's over. He's in you. He got you locked in, and you locked in to him, and he locked into you, and you all are one. That's that house. But that's that eternal house as well. I don't know where we get off thinking that He has to be into the level of our understanding in the flesh. That means he has to come to our house and reside with us and bow down to us and reason with us and go our way and do our way and think like we think and feel like we feel. That's the only way the flesh would accept the Father in the kingdom. And I kid you not, I have learned that in my 64 years. People will not accept the Father as a spiritual entity that has all power, has all authority, has all ruler. He's the master, he's the king, he's the creator, he's the beginning to the end. He's all that and all kind of good stuff. But that flesh is not going to see him like that. That's why here we are in the year of 2026. No one has got their spiritual house in order because they're focusing more so on the outer house and the house of the flesh. If you could just get that house of the spirit in the order, like you get that house of the spirit in your flesh, you'd be surprised where you stand in the eyes of Yah. But no one cares about that because people focus on what they can see and believe. And with that, that's it. I'm not focusing on a house in the spirit realm. Oh yeah, I might play church, I might play belief, I might play religious, I might play full of Holy Spirit, I might play that I got the Ruach, I may play that I worship Yah, but the truth of the matter is in the pudding. So the house in which is in spirit, if he has to say, get your house in order, he's telling you to get your spirit in line. Get it in line. Because I come to understand you can get plucked out. Oh, yes. I had to accept it. You can get plucked out. And getting your house in order, like he was telling Hezekiah, getting your house in order is not playtime. It's serious business. But do you think in this year 2026, people would really even consider getting their house in order? No, they wouldn't, because they feel their house already in order. They look at what they have, what they got, what they're going, what they're getting, and they call that order. And if he don't like that order, well, my house is already in order. Because in their minds, they think that the house on the outside, the way their life is going for them and how things are panning out for them, that's real living. That's real life. That's what they really do. They have no idea the house that he said get in order, because we're in that day. And in that day, you don't know if he's saying that you're going to sleep, you're going to die. I'm going to turn the table so you can see, or he's going to take away. So even this very day is something to think about. You wouldn't even know how to get your spiritual house in order because you tried to line your spiritual house like your natural house. People take the mind of their flesh and try to control the mind of their spirit. And they do successfully, but they don't understand. That's because you came down here to follow the flesh. You're born of the flesh. That's why you use the mind of the flesh to level off all things in you. See, they didn't know that. So even though I'm talking about your house in order, get your house in order, I'm speaking to a particular people that Yah wants you to understand this difference between your spiritual house and your natural house. He's not too keen with you and what you got on the outside. He ain't marveling off of what you got on the inside. That's you. That's your flesh doing that. He's looking at you and seeing that if you invested as much as you do in your outer man to your spirit man, you'll be a servant that truly he has chosen. But he is not wasting that time in the year of 2026, 27, 28. It's over. If you're not in that house, in that house of Yah, and he's not going to tolerate the fact that your house is greater than his. You put more emphasis on your house than you do the house of your spirit, where he abides in you. People will not own it, and they're not going to own it. Whenever people can lock in the fact that in the days of Noah, not one pulled up, not one, then they'll understand why they so distant on one side, calling themselves on the other. Because they figure that they can play both roles. And they don't understand the one on the left is a higher role that you're playing, and the one on the right is down there on the ground. Because your flesh really focus on the things that they can see and believe. They want the house that they can see, that they live in, sleep in, the electric, the gas. They want all of that, A1. And the spiritual house, they could care less. They saying that I catch them on the other side when I cross that bridge. And they would think that, hey, this sister is talking that, but what I'm talking is what y'all know already. What he want people to know, pulling out the light. You ain't pulling no wool over my eyes. I knew you. It ain't that I know you. I knew you, not that I know you. I knew you, not that I know you or going to get to know you. I knew thee. And this is where the flesh can't handle. Because the flesh don't want to accept the fact that, wait a minute, this creator is awesome. He knew the beginning to the end, for real, for real. They don't want to accept him like that. They want to accept him the way that they want to see him in the flesh, going the way of their flesh understanding. And if he can't come that way, they ain't coming no way to meet him. And he ain't one to meet you halfway. If he don't come get you his way, you ain't his no way. You just ain't figured it out yet. So I just can imagine how the end days and all the things that has happened throughout time that has been spoken of, and just making you wonder, okay, if the Jesuit wrote all these books, just imagine all these lies. Let me tell y'all what it boiled down to. I ain't got my pen. It boils back to that power I was telling you about. Yah is not coming to change the minds of anyone, the hearts of anyone, the sight of anyone, the understanding of anyone. Everybody is right where they need to be, according to his will. He's not coming down here to change. He ain't coming. If you ever think and you go back to when they're talking about that day, and they're talking about the end, like Revelation, and you hear even in the New Testament and in the Old, when they talk about in that day, you will never see or never hear in your study guide that they coming to change you. It ain't nothing's going to tell you that he's coming to change you or force you. He's not coming. For what? As if he forgot something in the kingdom, he got to come back and check it on the earth. No, baby, that's not how he rumbled. I know we want to put him in that type of black box. We want to put him in a black box. You got to do it the way we see it to believe it, or else we ain't gonna grip it. But what we didn't understand, he don't bend down to us. He don't come down to our black box. Furthermore, you ain't got no business putting him in no box no way, because he wouldn't be able to fit without taking you out of here, trying to put them there. But it's the minds of people and how they see him. Now, this is what I have been schooled by the Spirit. I'm sitting here just laying down and relaxing last night, and I heard a couple of videos about economic health or economic, whatever that thing is, world economics or whatever, and they talking about this AI. And I said, but Father, see, I thought that I'm on here for you all. No, I ain't. I'm on here exactly for what he said. He said, Deborah, you just here to teach the light. And when you speak in the light, you pulling that bad boy out of the midst of darkness. That's why he keeps telling me it's okay. If you just got one person, and even if you ain't got now, my word is carried by the wind. I am that I am. And I don't need no backing up, and I don't need nobody landing me down. Now watch what he showed me, y'all. And this is another reason why I think I'm starting to see some things that's beyond what I need to be seeing. But I also believe that the Creator has my back, my front, and every side, and it's okay. It's okay, y'all, with me. I'm sitting here watching it, and instant the Spirit said, "Now listen, Deborah. Now listen," and it said, AI is now going to be every book in every school, everything that has words. AI is now going to be full control over. Full control. Remember, it says the word going to be taken away. Woo! I love it. I love it. I love it. See, we looking for people to come steal our Bibles and take these away. But what they're doing is they're locking AI over all of your internet, your laptop, your phones, which they already started, and then people just as sick can be. Your laptops, your phone, your computer, every book in your house, everything is going to be translated into AI. Everything is going to be about AI. Now I don't know about this, but they might set up a way where if you have Bibles in your home, they're going to take your life, okay? Because AI is now, I don't know if y'all know that, it's now over the Bibles. I don't know if y'all know that or not. They feel the AI can best teach you the Bible. And now everything from libraries to politics to religion to even in the churches, in the stores, nowhere, wherever you go where there's words, AI is going to be over it. Praise the mighty Yah. And then the Spirit said, now you see that, Deborah? Look at the difference between you and all those ones you've been teaching. Now take a look at the whole world. You've been telling them I'm the word. You see, and the word got to live in you because AI then took over the word on the outside of you. So you keep slinging your book, thinking this is the word. Now you finna get the word of the highest level of Satanism and darkness that had ever hit the earth. He told y'all this is a time like no other. And when I heard that, I said, I kind of got happy because the Spirit was talking with me. He was dealing with me. He said, you teach us the word, and you done told them that I am the word. You see? So all this time, me telling y'all the word is the Father. Now, can AI take that? That's the only thing AI can't take. You see? Because he is the word. He said, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word, not one thing. Because he is the word. 99 times 15 trillion. Never understood Yeshua telling Satan when he was tempting him. It is written. It is written. Y'all got to understand where this thing is written. He said the word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah. That's where it's written. It's written in Yah. He is the word. A book cannot be the word. How do you think they got to level A? AI. How do you think they got there? Because they done made a fool out of y'all with a book. To make you think it is Yah. Now they step into the next step. They're going to give you a AI, electronic, whatever that thing is, and tell you, and this is where they're going to ban Bibles in the house. Everything, when people get ready to go to church, guess what? They're going to have to follow under the teaching of AI. See, you all don't understand why I seem so excited. Because my father has been denied since the beginning. Even to this very day, y'all stand y'all tails around and still deny who he is. You deny his power. You deny his word. You deny his right hand, his stretched out arm. You deny that he's the only begotten of himself, not of a son of man, but of himself. You deny everything about the Father, and that's what's so beautiful in this end. Even though I don't care how many fall by the wayside, they was falling by the wayside before the foundation of the world, because he caused them to be the wayside fallers, not Sister Deborah. So when he's sitting here telling me this, and I was just so, it's just a little delight, because I realized you've been on this damn platform telling the people. So if AI is going to take the Bible and put it under AI, they're going to take all the lost books, put it under AI. They're going to take Enoch, put it under AI. They're going to take King James 16:11, put it under AI, and AI going to tell you what it said, how you like them now. Now, what in the rats behind make you think y'all is going to be the word and let them take the word and sling it their way? But they had already did it. They had went into the scrolls, got what some of the words, and they just smeared it, messed it up, even to the point where I try to explain to y'all, if I sit and tell y'all that Yah is the word, then I'm the one that you can listen to, because I'm also telling you that he's feminine and he's masculine. Do they want to believe that? No, they don't. Because they want what the Jesuits and the Roman Catholic has taught them. They prefer that. I also told you that Eve did not and was not tempted. It was Adam all the time. It was Adam all the time. Adam was the only one in that garden. Then they turned around and said, and he turned around and he made the animals and took them to Adam to name. How did he do that? I'm going to mess y'all up from the floor up right this day. I'm going to mess you up. How did Adam was put into the garden with those trees? The tree of life, the tree of good and evil, knowledge of good and evil. Then it says, and God, Yah, created the animals and took them to Adam to name them. Right then, Eve, dominion was already taken from her before she was even created. You see y'all sick people? You're sick. You're going to live sick and you're going to die sick. Your hearts are too hardened and too rotten. Because somewhere along the line, AI got you now. I'm grateful that I understood all these, not all these years, but within the 7 years I've been on here explaining to people that the word is the Father himself. That's what Yeshua was telling Satan. It's what comes out of his mouth. This book does not come tell you, give me one verse in this whole book to tell you out of Yah's mouth he said anything in there. Come on with it. You'll never find it. That's how long they have been having everybody under the umbrella of deception. And it's where they at now is to me, the perfect place. They in the perfect place. AI is in the perfect place that Yah has willed it to be. Why? Because so many people on this earth have treated him so horrible to where he see fit. Give him to AI. Deborah, leave him alone. Let him go over there and be up on AI. You know what they're going to donate to the AI? Their whole spirit, their minds, their heart, their understanding will be over there on AI. And Yah will is allowing it. Because I'm sitting here like saying, but Father, that kind of feel kind of, and I did when I saw them and they showed everybody had to have seen it. But I bet you 99.9 of you all don't even give a rat's behind, or nor have you seen it. It don't matter. You'll just be the one that's easy to fall for it. Like most of you. Always up in AI tail. And then run around here talking about, yeah, they got AI. What are you talking about? They got AI. You all up in the rectum of AI. What do you mean? I see these people on here talking about AI this, and they gonna pull out AI's evil, and AI, but yet you pulling all AI pictures off and putting them on your page. You see how sick the minds are? They can't see right because they are wrong. Wrong don't want to see them. I mean, right don't want to see them no way because they so loaded with what is wrong. So when he was showing me that last night, that done something to me. It was like a leap of joy. Like, okay, Father, you moving into that spot you said. In that day, you moving that he's moving into the spot where his power got to be seen. But he's allowing his will to still take its course. And in this, you didn't want to believe the word, which is the Father. You didn't want to believe what he had to say through his servant. You didn't want to believe nothing. Tell you what, pull up with the AI. If it got an AI and an AE, pull it up. Let them fall under that category. Now think about heaven, y'all. That home I was telling you. Just think about it. You think heaven's boo-hooing because the AI coming on the scene to take the place of all these lost books, found books, Enoch book, and King James 16, and every new translation, new edition Bible? You think heaven crying because of that? No, heaven got a will with it planted in it. That's that power I try to tell y'all about. When you're trying to degrade the Father, you're degrading yourself. So I'm like looking at this, and then they were talking about everything, y'all. TikTok, YouTube, everything is going under AI. That means AI gonna have to give you what you've been looking for. So now, if you didn't learn under Sister Deborah, guess what? Y'all gave you somebody else you can learn under. So I've explained to you all several times that if you set up under Sister Deborah and you have gotten the full meal deal out of the things that I have spoken to you and I've taught you, that's good for you, because you're gonna use every bit of it in the days to come, and you're gonna realize when AI steps in that form, you're going to realize, I'm glad, Father. You're going to cry out to the Father. You're going to glorify the Father for the time that he allowed you to share and to hear Sister Deborah, because it's going to be the opposite of what AI said. But you're going to be speaking, and you're going to be walking already in the light, because the light going to be walking in you. See, a lot of people don't understand. Y'all want to have all these denominations. You want to have all these religions. You want to have all these interpretations. You want to go line behind line, precept behind precept. Pull up AI. Pull up on them. They want to mess around with my Father. They want to try to make him low, put him in the black box. Pull up AI on them. That's what they need. That's what they get. All of these people on YouTube had an opportunity to speak spirit and truth. All these people on YouTube had an opportunity to shine the light, but they chose to go in the way of self. They chose to teach this thing in a way of self. Now, everything I have said on my other video, where I got the most videos uploaded, and on this video, everything that I have said has detached you to the Father. And if you didn't get detached to the Father from the message in which Sister Deborah has spoken, let me tell you, just like I told y'all, he said, it's over, Deborah. You see? And even them announcing that, it made everything make sense. That's why it's over. It's over because it's time for the darkness to get in its spot. Because all the ones been following all these people on this devil platform lying to y'all, they getting all the glory, and y'all been praising them and supporting them. You go there, stay there. AI is on its way to help you a little bit, little something. Because all of these videos that they had on here, guess what? AI is going to override it. They ain't gonna be able to lie to you no more because AI gonna have all the lies for you. You see? And when I heard that, I said, you mean all, you said, let's, anything that has to do with our taxes, anything that has to do with paper and words. Y'all don't get it, do you? I like that, Father. Yeah. I like that, Father. Yeah. That's what got me last night because they said anything that has the word. When they said that, I said, Father, you know you awesome. Because it is. It's beautiful. Because I'm like saying, that's why you the word, Father. And if he is the word and he live in us, can't no AI take that from us, y'all. So that's why you wonder why I told those to get on out of here. You don't even understand why y'all had you in the midst. And you don't understand what was the reason. They didn't care because they were self-centered, self-motivated, me, mine. And all they wanted is what they wanted at the table. And they felt obligated that they should be at the table. But for all the wrong reason, now a table is going to be brought to you. It's going to be AI. So I say unto you, even if, you know what, you think I wouldn't dare be upset about AI. Because I love how y'all give the world what they need when they think then they crossing him out. They crossing him out. Oh, they want this computer thing to tell them everything, huh? Okay, I give it to them. So the only thing I'm saying to you all is this. Within them 7 years, I said a lot of things. And if they take all those videos off, that's still fine. For those that were sincere and had the Ruach really in them, and they were those that were under the teaching of what I was teaching and I was revealing, you all got something to run with. To me, it reminds me of that narrow gate because you got something that AI can't take away. You got something when AI tell you that Jesus was, no, let's say Jesus, which he gonna say Jesus. This is what AI gonna do, y'all. Let me give you a little something. AI gonna tell you when Jesus was born, he was born on December the 26th. You see what I'm saying? And it's gonna tell you the noonday, the hour, and then it's gonna tell you when Yahuwah was born. He was born in November the 18th. You see? You see how simple the lies is going to be? So simple. Both of them lies. But he's going to give you still your lie. He's going to feed you the lie. You've been wanting the lie? Now you got it. Okay? Now you got it. Because y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. And you know what? Oh, Father, I wouldn't have never thought they would come that route. I think that's more so of it too. I said, Father, no, they didn't come that route. They came the route of the word. That man stood on that stage and he said, AI is taking over word. I was like, no. And when he said that, he told you anything that has word, AI taking over. AI is taking over. Then he went to telling you everything. Even when you go in the stores got word, AI taking over. When you get on your computer, AI gonna take over your computer. AI gonna take over anything that has word. But they can't take over the word. That's the beauty of the Ruach HaKodesh in you, because they can take any word that they want and lie to you, and you're gonna be lied to. And you're going to walk around with your head up thinking you got something. They're going to go over here. They're going to be preaching this and they're going to be preaching this. Preaching what AI is teaching them. You see? Now you think that it was bad, these pastors and bishops and priests and all these Catholic teaching these people and all these different religions. Guess what? A new sheriff is in town. And it's called AI. And it's going to swing word. You see? So you didn't want y'all word. You denied that he was the word. Now y'all finna let you get a little taste of the words you've been listening to. Now AI got a hold of it and it's gonna give you the word. Since you want the word, since you want somebody upright and just in your own flesh mind, he letting AI pull up. AI say, I'm pulling up what word. That's some crazy stuff, but I love it. I love it. I love it because I love how y'all has orchestrated these things, y'all. To y'all would say, why she laughing? And that's because you sick, not me. I'm well. You sick, not me. I'm well. I understand this thing in spirit and in truth. You see, I understand this thing in the light. So all this time, I had told y'all people, and all these people on this devil platform, especially not all of them, yeah, all of them. To tell you the truth, they teaching and preaching like they real preachers and ministers and pastors and prophets and prophetess, like they really the real deal. Now you finna see they're gonna pull up with AI proudly, because guess what they're gonna do? See if they can still manipulate you and deceive you from the level of AI. And you know what? How would I say? Good for you. Because to me, those that are spirit and truth with the light, and I've been trying to teach the ball being dropped and everything that concerns my Father that the world won't teach. Not only the world won't teach, those who proclaim to be the people of the Most High Yah, or the children of Yah, or those that's been preaching and teaching in these synagogues, these temples, and these big churches, and have thousands and thousands of members and millions of members. Hey, AI come stepped in. AI going, and then you wonder, what do you mean? That's how it makes all sense. AI has to do that because it has to bring everything into a oneness. Like who? The Father. The Father. I just got you showing y'all that. I just showed you how your spirit and the Father's spirit is a one. You got to come in. Your house of the spirit is a oneness in him. You in him and he in you. Y'all in that house as a oneness. I just got through teaching that. And that's why I say many things that I say, it goes over people's head. But the Father said it's okay for them to go over their head, Deborah. And you got to accept the fact that it's meant to go over their heads. But that AI for to show them. It's going to show who's who and what's what. With everything you have taught, AI going to teach the opposite. Since they want the lie, I'm allowing AI to step in with the lie. Since that's what they want. When you think of him saying, I'm going to pour, Deborah, out a strong delusion. So if they believe a lie, he's pouring out the strong delusion so they will continue to believe the lie. Here come AI. Woo! So when I heard that, I was like, wow. And it's going back to where he wants me to relax in this thing, because it's like saying that you feeling it, you seeing it for what it is. You're more relaxed than many would ever be. You're relaxed to the fact that this is right here and right now. You're relaxed to the fact that it ain't nothing that you can change. It ain't nothing about what is about to happen and is happening and that you saw that's happening that you can change. See, all that time, he been preparing my spirit for the things that is to come. But before he can prepare my spirit, he has to let me long suffer it and endure what I'm seeing in the wilderness. What he's teaching me. So that when that time comes, I'm smiling like I am about AI. And you all boo-hoo and try to figure out, AI did, they gonna do this, they gonna do this. You see the different levels? You see the different levels? From the house in the natural that follows the flesh of the man and the woman, and the house that's in the spirit that follows the spirit of Yah. There's two houses. They never taught it to you. Maybe AI give it to you. Sister Deborah couldn't, but maybe AI give it to you. Maybe AI give you a little something. I love how the Most High rumble, because it makes so much sense, Father. They didn't want to believe nothing about you. They didn't even want to believe nothing I'm saying about you. When I get on here and I start teaching and praising, not teaching, but teaching, when I start teaching about his glory, his holiness, his power, or his greatness, his excellence, anything that gives him glory, you ain't gonna see too many subscribers. You ain't gonna see, not subscribe, you ain't gonna see too many likes. You ain't gonna even see too many views. That's because it shows you. It's like the days of Noah. Deborah, you lucky if you see one, but if you see one, salute the fact that I gave you that one. Hello, keep it going, girl. Keep it going. You're doing a good job. See, you don't get bit in and out because nobody come and nobody pay attention. No, you carrying the light. They don't understand when they coming into your page, they coming into the light. But when they go out, they go right back to their darkness. Because if they don't get what the light has to say, they go right back out to their darkness. And go back right back to the vomit. Go right back to trash. Go right back to lies. Go right back to deception. So am I hurt? No. Because all that he has given me, I have not and I shall not lose one. And many that have support me, I say unto you, Yah has your gifts, your rewards. That's what he said in the kingdom. I know it without a doubt. Because this is not easy. And the only way you know in the natural that you are about the Father's business, even in the spirit, but in the natural, is when you have people supporting you. You see? And I say unto you, I'm not talking to those who call themselves, because there's a hate level. When he said he come to bring the division, it was started in the house. Like Cain and Abel. He know what he was doing. The division was there, y'all. When it's still in the house today. But the division, people don't understand. He said, I come to bring the division. He come to bring things against. I come to bring the sword to divide. But guess what it was? It wasn't so much that in the family is the main place he focused on, but he was saying, even in the world, to divide hate from hate. Because the spiritual seed is supposed to hate the wicked seed. And the wicked seed is supposed to hate the spiritual seed. So when you got people down here that says, okay, I'm not for this here, I'm not going to support this here, it's just hating. It's hate, y'all. And they have no idea he brought the sword to divide. You see? To divide one side from the other. That's just it. It's that same sword he come in the family to bring up, to divide the family. It's the same sword he would bring in your workplace. He would bring around your immediate family, your household, your best friends, your community. It's that same sword. It's that same division against. He know what he was doing. He gave us the best example from the beginning, Abel and Cain. You couldn't find no reason why one would want to do that to the other outside of what he told Satan. One going to have hate and the other one going to have hate. They're going to have hate for one another. Woo-wee! And ain't nothing nobody can do about it. The spiritual one has a hate for what is wicked and evil. The wicked and evil has to hate for what is spiritual seeds of Yah. That's what happened with Cain and Abel. That was our first example. And he went into the family to do it, to give us that example. So I say unto you, many walk around here with a head on their shoulders, and they, you can walk, you can climb, you can do whatever you want. You already written. I'm already written. Our destiny is going two different directions. And ain't nobody can do nothing about it, not even me. But I will say unto you, when I heard them speak about the AI, since the world wants to treat and act as if there is not a creator, that is the number one, that is the beginning to the end, that is all power. I tell you what, give him AI, Father. I'm with you. Let him have it. Sling AI on their tails and see what you're going to learn then. How about that? See how you learn then. I know, I'm quite sure I will be off of here, but I don't have no problem because my rewards is in the kingdom. And those that have followed me and supported me faithfully, that means faithfully, they believed that Yah sent me. You see? And for that reason, they supported me. Because, see, a lot of people didn't know. These people wasn't supporting me because of me. It's what Yah put in their hearts to do. Yah put them there for that reason. It's this one special one. And when this individual have no idea that I know, this individual have no idea. And I kept it to myself. And I will keep it to myself because it's something from Yah to me. And this individual would do something. And I'm like looking at this, I said, who would do that? And the Father told me the whole story behind it. How this individual is a special individual in him. You know why? Because what this individual did and do, you see, I look and every time I could see it, just as clear as day. And I said, wow, it's amazing who Yah was seeing among you to support you. Yah is not sending those to support you and then have those who don't support you. That's the division, you people. Why is it we cannot accept the division that's looking us straight in the eyes? And what would make you think that Yah was send the supporters and then send all these other ones that he know what they have? He know what they got, and he know their lives, and he know their hearts, and he know their level of hate and which part of the hate that they're on. See, that's the difference. And they will give you a hard time in their spirit because I can discern it. I know a lot of y'all don't understand the spiritual gifts. The same reason why they don't understand the word. And that's why AI is coming to conquer the word as you all know it. But you have to know it from the spirit realm. That house that no one focus on. The house of Yah in you and you in him. The spiritual house that no one focus on. But I thank the Most High for those that have supported me. And I know without a doubt, if I live or die, it doesn't matter. If they live and die, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. But I tell you what, this prophet can tell you, your reward is in the kingdom. Even if you didn't give another dime, your reward is in the kingdom. Because I believe what you did is what God did in you. Okay? So I give Yah the glory on the head of it. He knows what he gave to each one. And they gave faithfully. You can't give what you don't have. But there are those who have that refuse to give because it's the wicked of their hate. When I'm the person that can teach that. The division comes from one side or the other. Those that are in Yah, whether they give ever again with me, I salute them. I really do. Because Yah drew them to this page just to support Sister Deborah. And for him to have done that, something already was in them from him. Before they even got to the page. But Yah said, I need you to support my servant. And in the midst of it, you're going to learn everything you know to run on. challenge spirit and truth with the light and say it's worth nothing but a hateful heart. Y'all better wake up. AI is on the scene. I love that. I hated the ideal of AI, but since the father was telling me focus, Deborah, and I was like, I'm beyond. They finna talk about this AI, and I sat there and I looked at. I said, look at that, father. And when they finish telling you how it's gonna be over every like you see this lotion, you see these words. They're saying AI is gonna be over everything that has words. Do y'all understand what that means? AI is going to capture everything into a oneness. From your check, from your bank account, from your cash in the bank, your house note, everything AI is going to be over. And the way they teaching it is every word that exists, AI is going to rule. So just imagine my supporters. The word that you have heard from Yah, they're going to always rock in you. And when that day come, run. When he say come, go, go. He's going to be forever looking over you. Because anytime someone supported Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, anytime someone did anything for those that are of the servants of Yah, go back. That shows you people don't read. They are forever written in the heart of the Father. Because see, that's how he rumbled. See, that's why I say to y'all, people don't even understand who the Father is and how he rumbled. He does this. This is how he did it before the foundation of the world. This is how he rumbled, y'all. So we want to make him a lie. But we're going to run to AI and believe everything AI good. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Hey, for real. I think it's a perfect thing. You deny the Father? You think you all that answer? You think you see it from the top to the bottom? I'll tell you what, didn't I tell y'all? He's going to try your bad tail by the fire. Sister Deborah don't have no problem coming off this platform. You know why? I think I've done an excellent job based on what the Ruach keep teaching me. But he hasn't let off me. But if AI is going to take over all the words, it's really going to take over all the words. And I don't have no problem with that. Because the word is the Father. He can't take over that. See, many people don't know that. They don't have no sense because they never were taught what the word was. Just imagine all those people who never knew what the word was. Look how they're going to go over AI. They're going to be bowing down to AI. They're going to be bowing down to AI. Oh, AI is good. You got Negro people boasting to teach you how to use AI. These are people who already took the I wouldn't say the mark, because the mark is already in them. These are people who already has been assigned over. And they seeing how many of you all that can fish. When I see these people putting their AI pictures on their platform and they talking behind the AI, to me, I'm just like, look at these people using AI all kind of ways, and then at the same time talking about AI this, AI bad, AI evil, but yet you using AI like crazy. That's some crazy stuff. But that's what that shows you the mindset. But you know, my thing I'm gonna do this year is I'm gonna really work on really taking serious the fact that the way things are is the way it has to end. You see what I'm saying? Anything come, embrace it. That's what I'm pretty much saying. Embrace anything that's coming. Embrace it. Why? Because no one embraced my Father. The ball was left in Genesis, even though he knew it was going to be left in Genesis, because I just gave y'all a prime example. When you go into your study guide, in Genesis chapter Let me go here. Let me show you an example. And 99.20 trillion wouldn't catch this, but watch this. This is the difference in how AI and Sister Deborah. I'm Yas. I'm Yah. Okay. Listen to this. Right here in, let's say, Genesis chapter 2. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 17. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for it shall be, for in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt truly die. Yah is not talking to them, he's talking to him. Okay? Yah is not talking to them, he's talking to who? Him. Verse 18, and Yah said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet. Now you see man is what he was talking to. Now you see man is the one he charged. Okay? So right then, he didn't make him a helpmeet, but he went to 19. You see how messed up that is? Y'all, this is how blind y'all really are. This is how blind you are, because you can't even see it. Now, 18 shouldn't have been there. Okay? Now, you go to 19 and it says, out of the ground Yah formed the beast of the fields, every fowl of the air, and brought them to who? Adam, to see what he would call them, and whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was their name. Now, where is Eve? It said in 18, I will make you a helpmeet. But it didn't. It made the beast of the field and the fowls and brought it to who? Adam. You go into Genesis chapter 1, it shows you they stripped the power straight out. Because the power said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, and Yah said, let us make man in our image and in our likeness, and let them, there go them. From verse 26, it's telling you he's only have in his spiritual mind to create them. He never had in his spiritual mind to create him. Deborah, you finna get in trouble. That's all right. I've been in trouble. And it's all right with me. Okay? So here in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, Yah said, let us make man in our image and in our likeness, and let them. Wait a minute. Let them. See, in Yah was already about him and her. Her and him. It was never about him. Okay? It was always about them. Now listen to what he said, them. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowls of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that's upon the earth. Now, watch this here. Now he's telling them that they have dominion over the fowls. So how is it that Adam is creating, is naming the fowls? How is it Adam is the only one have dominion over them in Genesis chapter 2, verse 19? Where's the dominion? For them. Only look like it's Adam. Because he's a lie, y'all. Eve was not. Did nothing to usher in sin. That was a lie. All you have to do is put the stuff to make it make sense. He's sitting here telling you, and y'all should have dominion. Now listen to what verse 27. So Yah created man in his own image, and in the image of Yah created he him, male and female created them. There go male and female and them. That's what represent them. So why in Genesis 2 verse 19 is it only him having dominion? It don't make sense. That's what I tell y'all. And in Genesis chapter 2, verse 17, it says, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil, shall not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt die. Now watch what Eve says. Watch what Eve says. Eve says in Genesis 3:3, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yah said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest you die. He didn't say you couldn't touch. He didn't say you couldn't touch. He said eat. So which one was it? And who placed that in there for Eve to say touch? When it, and then in Genesis 2, Yah didn't tell him touch. He said eat. He could have said eat nor touch, but you don't see it, do you? So how did Eve add touch when Genesis 2 said just eat? You see the lie already there, y'all. The lie was there before Eve even did anything. But the only way man on this earth could have stole the feminine identity of dominion was to crank up a lie. And they did it successfully. And AI ain't coming to make it truth. He coming to make the lie the lie. So I, Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of it. Even if you didn't, it's still spirit and truth. It still is Yah's light. Shalom and shalom.